Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Today is the 3rd of April 2020. It's 4:38 local time. I thought it's time for another market overview video, a bit outside of Forex. So let's go through the markets. Let's start with stocks. The ones who have seen my trading face to face, they know that I've predicted the overall stock market very well. I don't want to sound arrogant, but I actually predicted the big down move as well as the pullback close to the gap, as well as the trend resumption move. So however, from here 2496, I would think that stocks go down once more. Okay, it's far more unlikely that stocks just recover and go up again, because first of all, the fundamentals are getting worse now. The coronavirus is still in full swing. We have many shutdowns around the world, and normally what happens is the economy lags a bit behind the stock market. So, maybe the price comes up here or there's a little gap and cleans this 2574 level, but at that point I would short down towards like 2410 or something like that, and can even retest low. I made a very, very good trade today in oil, well, over a few days actually. That's this one. And so yeah, I was actually able to pick the bottom pretty well. Let me explain. So we had a move towards the low 3 times. Look, here were my first positions, big ones, as you can see. This is WTI. All my positions are already protected. As you can see, I was able to pull my stops up here. So there's already a huge floating profit on this one. And it could even increase further, so that was fantastic. We almost touched the $30 level, and many entries of mine were around 22.7. Fantastic. Let me explain that trade. And this is interesting because if you trade those kind of markets, the dynamics are a bit different. I mean, there's also market manipulation. But let me explain why this trade was rather easy. Because apart from the fact that the price was so low in historical terms, we had actually the price war going on between Russia and Saudi Arabia. And this already started just before the corona crisis was getting so popular around the world. Obviously what happens is if the oil price drops too much, for example, the American oil industry will get under pressure. And we were at a point where many oil companies were forced to almost stop their plants, factories. So what happened is, and the exploration sites, so Trump was making pressure on those two countries, and then Saudi Arabia gave in and called for an OPEC meeting. And that's all we needed for this night spike move. And then after the pullback, I bought again, as you can see, because it was a correction, like a 50% correction of this bar, and there was a great entry back up. That was a very, very, very good trade, and I think it's even going a bit further. So looking at oil ETFs and so on, they didn't increase so much yet. Very, very good. Okay, so let's look at silver. Silver went down so much, touched the 11.58. This is crazy. This is a weekly chart, so let's go a bit more short term. I didn't do any trade here, so it went towards the low again and then recovered. Did some kind of 50% reversal move. We often see that, you see? This move and then some kind of 50% level reversion. It's common in the markets. And now going very, very flat around the 14.344 level. Very neutral. Not really interested in trading that one right now. The metals, let's stay with the metals. Let's look at gold. 1617, $1,617. Pretty much in the middle of this multi-week range as well. again, the same thing. You see move, 50% reversal, actually overshooting. So 50% would be around here. And that has even acted as a support, but also pretty neutral. Of course, there's a chance that if the stocks go for trend resumption, actually this time maybe it goes up a bit more and breaks the 1700 level. But at the moment, I don't see any trade opportunity there. Also look at Bitcoin, recovered from the low. So it bounced from the 3,763 level and, you know, is moving towards this level here in the consolidation range. I mean, let's look at the long-term chart. I know people are writing it's very cheap in terms of historical data because we basically kissed this area from December 2018. Yeah, it was a nice trade entry, but I don't trade cryptos so much. So it won't necessarily go up if stocks go down, as we have learned. So I don't see any opportunity there as such. Let's also look at cable. So from this dramatic down move I showed in the last video, it also did some kind of 50% reversal of like 800 pips from the low. Actually more, as you can see. So we recovered 1,000 pips from the low, then went flat quite a few days and now dropping off. I expected it to come off again, so I did a short there and I will reassess, but that all of course it depends on the causality. I don't trade Forex only purely on fundamental technical terms. This was really the trade of the week. And I will keep an eye on stocks. There could be nice opportunities for sure. Well, actually, let me show you right now. Well, let me just pull over the chart from cable. There we go. Right, just to show you that. So yeah, so here you see, look, this is quite interesting. I drew in this level. The ones who have the live stream, they know it. They saw me drawing in this level. And look at that, it was exactly respected. Funny enough. So and it actually came down from there to the inner range stops. Yeah, and you see right now how it goes for the short-term stops there. The blue lines taking them out. So I'm sure that some users of the live stream caught that move. That's fantastic. People love seeing everything live. I'm very happy about this. And yeah, it was a long way to be able to offer you all that. And offer you that also, it's a really, really fair price at the moment, as you know. I've explained it in another video. So here you see live stop run again. Now, in all financial markets, basically the market causality rules. However, especially in Forex, the big financial markets of this world, when it comes to gold and oil and especially also Bitcoin, there are additional rules, okay? It's not just like moves against the money positions or stop hunts. It's more complex. That doesn't mean that, you know, you are not able to trade them, but, you know, you should always do additional analysis like I showed you. Like you need to know what's going on, okay? You need to understand the higher time frames and all that stuff as well. But it's great to do all these kind of trades and markets at the same time. These days it's all possible. It's possible to trade actively these markets if you know what you're doing. Stay safe and have a great weekend.